Thank you so much for letting me address you today. I am Rebecca Otto, the state auditor. I always tell people I have the sexiest job in state government. Don't laugh now. I love my job. We get to oversee local government around the state, over 4,300 units. We mostly work with counties, cities. We also work with towns and all kinds of special districts. And we oversee a whole lot of money. So people expect that work is being done, they're just not sure who's doing it. Now when I ran for office, here's what I said to my family. Because it takes time, you make sacrifices. I said to my son, honey, I want to leave a legacy. For the state of Minnesota as a state auditor, he's like, okay, Mom, that's good. And then I got there and I was like, holy smokes, how do I leave a legacy? Because I wanted it something that could be a lasting impact for all of us. It would be good, right? Leave the state in better shape. And I needed to do it community by community. And so as I got to know my job and got to love it, I realized there were some things I could do. And it ties into making your numbers. You know, we're going to have tight budgets for a while in government. It's a reality. We know that. The answer isn't always cutting people and people that are doing the work that Minnesotans need and appreciate. And so I said, so we're spending over $20 billion a year in local government spending. There's over 4,000 units. How do we tackle those problems? And so I did something that some people said to me, oh, that's been done before. I said, not the way I'm doing it. I issued a report that helped local governments find money to make wise investments to reduce energy costs. Because your energy costs are part of your overhead costs, and if we can reduce overhead costs, we can deliver services, have employees. Well, you know, the state gives our local governments money, right? And it's part of the state budget, and so if I can help take some pressure off there, everything else will follow. So I've been pushing and pushing. I'm on several state boards, including State Board of Investment, the PARA board, it's very important work. But there, we were in Minnesota Housing Finance Agency board where I serve. We work on making sure affordable housing is out there throughout the state for working families, veterans, senior citizens, and so because housing is important. Well, we had some great building standards in this housing, but I thought, let's do a little bit more. We can reduce overhead costs on that affordable housing, make it healthier housing. We're all going to win. Taxpayers win long-term, we save tax money. So anyway, I've been looking for things that have that lasting impact besides what I do for my daily job. We won a national award for that report. We're a leader in the state of Minnesota. I got it from the National State Auditors Association, a very nonpartisan group. And other state auditors saying, well, maybe I should do a report like that for my state and my communities, because we all have to look at innovating in government and having great people who work in government. And I'll tell you, I've always been supportive of public employees, okay? Wherever I go. You know, as somebody who has served in government, if we sit and demonize government employees, who wants to stick around, right? You guys work hard, and when people say, oh, those are government jobs, I said, excuse me, but I have neighbors, I have friends who work in government jobs. You know, they shop in the same grocery store. We're all part of making our state work. So I will continue to be there for people who work for less, but do very important work and are very dedicated public servants. And I appreciate everything that you do for our state and government and your work. I'm not going to talk too much longer because I don't want to be the anti-caffeine for you this morning. But, you know, when they were talking about my margin of victory, I'll tell you something. It wasn't just me who did that. It was the support of wonderful groups like MAPE, whose members went out and engaged and told people why it was important to vote for the OTTO on the ballot. You know, it's 2 letters to remember, same forwards and backwards. If you turn it inside out, it's a toot. So tell all your it's easy, right? I met one of my son's teachers at conferences and he said, oh, he said Jacob Otto just said it. He goes, same letters back and forth, turn inside out, it's a toot. And I'm like, how do you remember that? He goes, it just sticks. So anyway, the issue this election may be turnout, so we have to make sure we tell all of our friends, relatives, everyone that we need to get out. It's a very important election. Governor's race, obviously, is very important. I know that's on your mind, but don't forget about me. So, so thank you so very much for your continued support. Have a wonderful day at the Capitol. Share your stories. Good luck.